What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Central Florida wide receiver Jalen Robinson entered the transfer portal back on April the 21st. I made a video on Jalen Robinson back at that time. Wasn't really sure how much traction his name would get. Obviously, the connection with Josh Heupel. He played for Josh Heupel a couple of years ago. So sounds like he's going to be coming into Knoxville this weekend. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the wide receiver room and also just the transfer portal in general, because a lot of you guys, every video you leave a comment and say we need defense, not wide receivers, no more playmakers. We need defense. And I want to kind of get into it and talk about that before we get going. As always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. That helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We are fans just like you. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Also, if you want to throw a little support our way, hit that join button right beside subscribe. You can get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, and also puts a couple of bucks in our pocket. We would appreciate it. Let's jump in to the video and let's talk about Jalen Robinson. This is an article from RockyTopTalk.com. Transferring UCF receiver set to visit Tennessee. Could the receiver room get even deeper? Now, when we look at that receiver room, obviously the addition of Bru McCoy just recently, a lot of people think Tennessee's fine with that wide receiver room. And what made me kind of think about this was when I dropped the video on Jordan Addison and whether or not Tennessee was really in the mix. And it doesn't seem like they are, and that's what I said in the video. But somebody left a comment and said, hey, when you can get this talent, you go get this talent and let them sort it out on the field of play. And when you look at the transfer portal, I just don't think that there is anybody out there on the defensive side of the ball outside a couple of names that may be floating around. I don't think there's a whole lot out there that Tennessee wants to take a chance on. So if they don't see what they want on the defensive side of the ball that fills their needs, a guy that can actually come in and make a difference, not just picking up a guy in the portal to say you picked up a guy in the portal. You're actually looking for somebody to improve your roster. And if you don't have what you want out there on defense, why not go get a guy like Jalen Robinson, who when you watch the film, the guy's got speed, he's got hands, and he's played in this offense before. So I think he would add a lot to that wide receiver room. Let's go ahead and read the article here. It says Tennessee added to the wide receiver room on Tuesday night with the addition of Bru McCoy, and they might not be done just yet. The Volunteers are now set to host Jalen Robinson, who played for Josh Heupel during his time at Central Florida. You know, and that's something I made up a point back when I dropped the video when he first entered the portal. It's Josh Heupel knows what he's getting with Jalen Robinson. He knows whether or not he would mesh with the players. He knows what he's going to get as far as work ethic, on the field performance. He knows what Jalen Robinson brings to this team. So again, the generic phrase of I trust Josh Heupel, I trust this coaching staff, that clearly applies here with Jalen Robinson. Goes on to say here he entered the portal after spring practices and now will visit Knoxville this weekend. Matt Ray of Sports Illustrated had the report below. You can see the tweet there from Matt Ray. It says Robinson played one season for Josh Heupel, catching 55 passes for 979 yards and 6 touchdowns in the shortened COVID year. He dealt with injuries in 2021, only able to appear in 6 games for Gus Malzahn. And what I really like is when you look at his stats, 2021, 18 catches, 322 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2018, only 3 catches. His biggest year during that COVID year under Josh Heupel, almost 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns in this offense. And again, I think that is a huge plus. It's a huge benefit for a guy that's going to miss spring practice, come in during the summer, and be able to go through fall camp. I think he will be ready to go come the fall season. It says here to this point, Robinson has visited TCU and Ole Miss. Georgia is interested as well. And again, that's kind of what I talk about with high school kids when you look at the offer list. If Georgia's interested, if Ole Miss is interested, if Lane Kiffin wants this kid, I think he could add to this wide receiver room. Goes on to say the 5'9", 180-pound receiver is a redshirt senior and a former 3-star prospect. He's a dynamic playmaker with big-time downfield speed, something that would certainly pair up pretty well with Tennessee's personnel. Returning with super senior quarterback Hendon Hooker is star receiver Cedric Tillman. Jalen Hyatt is expected to take a jump, while USC transfer Brew McCoy enters the situation as a bit of a wild card. Also mentions Ramel Keaton, Jimmy Callaway, and a host of others are also options. Wraps up the article here. Tennessee has bigger needs left on the board, but adding a veteran wide receiver with speed who knows the offense would also be a huge addition. The Volunteers have added pieces to the secondary and still could or should add bodies to the linebacker and offensive line rooms. Now, again, the whole point about the transfer portal is if Tennessee doesn't see what they want, who are they going to get? Don't go get an offensive tackle just to say you got an offensive tackle. And I really think when you look at the roster, I feel like Tennessee trusts their linebackers. I think they like what they have at the linebacker position. Everybody we've kind of seen them eyeing or going after has been somebody on the edge, on the defensive line, and then clearly in the secondary, we've seen them already add Wesley Walker. Most recently, they added Turrentine from Ohio State, so they've added some pieces there. You've got 2 upperclassmen returning at safety, and I know that they're a big question mark. A lot of us don't trust Trayvon Flowers and Jalen McCullough, but I like what this staff has had to say about McCullough. And that brings me back to the wide receiver room. I like what this coaching staff has to say about Jalen Hyatt, the work he put in, the size he put on. But when you look at who's returning, who is coming back for 2022, you've got to find a way to replace NFL talent, Velus Jones Jr., NFL talent, Javonte Payton. You had a couple of irrelevant wide receivers enter the transfer portal. But really, when you look at the wide receiver room for 2022, the only guy that you can say got it done, the only guy you can say that you trust is Cedric Tillman. Everything else is a question mark. And I know we can talk about Jalen Hyatt, and I'm probably as hyped as anybody when it comes to what I am expecting from Jalen Hyatt in 2022. But it's still a question mark. It's still a wild card. We don't know what we are going to get out of Jalen Hyatt this fall. So again, behind Tillman, it is a big, huge unknown pool of receivers as far as the production on the field. The same goes for Brew McCoy. As excited as I am, his size, his length, his physicality, there's so much potential for Brew McCoy in this offense, but the kid's played 1 year of football in the last 3 seasons. That's a question mark. We don't know what we're going to get out of Brew McCoy. Jalen Robinson? Josh Heupel knows exactly what he's going to get out of Jalen Robinson. He knows what he's going to do on the field, in the film room, on the practice field, off the field. He knows what he's going to get. So we'll see how the visit goes this weekend if Tennessee looks to add another wide receiver. But again, I think if you can't get what you need on the defensive line, you can't get what you need at offensive tackle, why not go out and add a playmaker? Why not add a playmaker? Like I said, guys, I think there's a couple of names out there floating around. We'll continue to keep an eye on, see if Tennessee goes down that road as far as the transfer portal. But we'll see what happens with Jalen Robinson. If you get a chance, watch the highlight film on this kid. I can't show it on air. We'll get demonetized because it is college football. I can show high school clips, but not college. But go give it a watch, man. He's very dynamic. He's explosive. He's got good speed. Sometimes they'll use him for the little sweep, the little bump pass sweeps. Good speed. I think he could add a lot to this Tennessee offense. But hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Should Tennessee go add somebody on defense just to add somebody on defense? And I know I'm as guilty as anybody. We're all saying it. Got to have defense. Well, if there's nobody out there in the portal, then who are you going to add? So why not go get a guy like Jalen Robinson? Hit that comment section and let me know your thoughts. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. As I always say, it's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin' VAWLS. Any and all support, greatly appreciated. Also, have got some new merch dropping soon. We're going to be dropping Beat Bama, Beat Georgia, and Beat Florida Talkin' VAWLS shirts. Those should be out hopefully within the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Go Big Orange.